Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, April 29th, 2014. I hope you guys are enjoying this nice warm day. The last I looked, I believe it was 76 degrees. So hopefully you guys are getting to enjoy it. I know a lot of people are having storms. I just seen it come across the screen again for West Virginia and Kentucky for more storms, severe thunderstorms. But been using my heating pad since last night and today, and using the TENS unit, which gives like electrodes into your back. So it's giving me a little relief for my lungs today. So it's making me feel a little better. But we're going to continue with today's Bible reading. And we're going to begin with Luke 24:13 through 53. On the same day, two of Jesus' disciples were going to a village called Emmaus. It was about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking to each other about everything that had happened. While they were talking, Jesus approached them and began walking with them. Although they saw him, they didn't recognize him. He asked them, "What are you discussing?" They stopped and looked very sad. One of them, Cleopas, replied, "Are you the only one in Jerusalem who doesn't know what has happened recently?" "What happened?" he asked. They said to him, "We were discussing what happened to Jesus from Nazareth. He was a powerful prophet in what he did and said in the sight of God and all people. Our chief priests and rulers had him condemned to death and crucified. We were hoping that he was the one who would free Israel. What's more, this is now the 3rd day since everything happened. Some of the women from our group startled us. They went to the tomb early this morning and didn't find his body. They told us that they had seen angels who said that he's alive. Some of our men went to the tomb and found it empty, as the women had said, but they didn't see him." Then Jesus said to them, "How foolish you are! You're so slow to believe everything the prophets said. Didn't the Messiah have to suffer these things to enter into his glory?" Then he began with Moses' teachings and the prophets to explain to them what was said about him throughout the scriptures. When they came near the village where they were going, Jesus acted as if he were going farther. They urged him, "Stay with us. It's getting late, and the day is almost over." So he went to stay with them. While he was at the table with them, he took bread and blessed it. He broke the bread and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, but he vanished from their sight. They said to each other, "Weren't we excited when he talked to us on the road and opened up the meaning of the scriptures for us?" That same hour they went back to Jerusalem. They found the 11 apostles and those who were with them gathered together. They were saying, "The Lord has really came back to life and has appeared to Simon." Then the 2 disciples told what had happened on the road and how they had recognized Jesus when he broke the bread. While they were talking about what had happened, Jesus stood among them. He said to them, "Peace be with you." They were terrified and thought they were seeing a ghost. He asked them, "Why are you afraid? Why do you have doubts? Look at my hands and feet and see it's really me. Touch me and see for yourselves. Ghosts don't have flesh and bones, but you can see that I do." And he said this. He showed them his hands and his feet. The disciples were overcome with joy and amazement because this seemed too good to be true. Then Jesus asked them, "Do you have anything to eat?" They gave him a piece of broiled fish. He took it and ate it while they watched. Then he said to them, "These are the words I spoke to you while I was still with you. I told you that everything written about me in Moses' teachings, the prophets and the Psalms, had to come true." Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures. He said to them, "Scripture says that the Messiah would suffer and that he would come back to life on the third day. Scripture also says that by the authority of Jesus, people would be told to turn to God and change the way they think and act so that their sins will be forgiven. This would be told to people from all nations, beginning in the city of Jerusalem. You are witnesses to these things. I'm sending you what my Father promised. Wait here in this city until you receive power from heaven. Then Jesus took them to a place near Bethany. There he raised his hands and blessed them. While he was blessing them, he left them and was taken to heaven. The disciples worshipped him and were overjoyed as they went back to Jerusalem. They were always in the temple where they praised God. That was Luke 24:13 through 53. We're going to read just one psalm today. We're going to read Psalm 100, and it's a psalm of thanksgiving. Shout happily to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord cheerfully. Come into his presence with a joyful song. Realize that the Lord alone is God. He made us, and we are his. We are his people and the sheep in his care. Enter his gates with a song of thanksgiving. Come into his courtyards with a song of praise. Give thanks to him. Praise his name. The Lord is good. His mercy endures forever. His faithfulness endures throughout every generation. That was Psalm 100. That was a short psalm today. Last but not least, we're going to read Proverbs 14:11 and 12. The houses of the wicked people will be destroyed, but the tents of decent people will continue to expand. There is a way that seems right to a person, but eventually it ends in death. And that was Proverbs 14:11 and 12. That was today's Bible reading. I hope it touched your guys' hearts. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I love you guys. Let's bring those souls to Jesus. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.